Hello and welcome to another totally amazing episode of The Big Planet. Surfing has gone up market. Board shorts are replaced with suits on Australian beaches. What do you want to be when you grow up? A butler? We drop into the finest butler school in the world, where nobody spills their drink. And this looks like an everyday mother and baby llama. However, there is something very unique and special about this baby. We'll tell you later on in the show.
But first, let's take a look at what's happening in Australia. Flying foxes? A fox that can fly? It's not that sort of fox you're thinking about. It isn't orange, it hasn't got 4 legs, and it doesn't eat your chickens at night. It's a bat. The grey-headed flying fox bat is classed as a threatened species, but you wouldn't know it walking through Sydney's Royal Botanic Gardens. More than 5,300 of these large bats have taken up living here. This is because their natural habitat along Australia's east coast has been cleared for new human houses and farms. Sydney is Australia's biggest and oldest city. Over 200 years ago, the first English settlers set foot on the shoreline. Over time, the gardens in Sydney have grown bigger and more beautiful and have become an international tourist spot. Garden and park staff say the bats are not a menace. They don't fly down and raid people's picnics or deliberately try and poop on somebody's head. But they do need to give some of the trees, which are up to 190 years old, a break to recover. These bats are creatures of habit. They return to the same branch of the same tree over and over again. This causes the tree a lot of damage. Slowly, all the leaves are falling off and the bats' sharp claws are killing the branches. In an effort to save the trees and encourage the bats to find new places to hang out in, staff have taken the extreme measure of banging drums, dropping python waste and applying chili and shrimp paste on the trees. But nothing has worked so far. The bats just like the gardens too much. Now researchers at the gardens are blasting the trees with water sprinklers and noises more horrible than the loudest of whoopee cushions. Every morning from 5:30am to 7am, a device called a Phoenix Whaler makes a range of noises that the bats just hate. The whaler is meant to make the bats fly away and leave the historic old trees to sway in the breeze peacefully. This, to date, hasn't worked. Visitors to the Royal Botanic Gardens are captivated by the sounds, smells and sights of the world's largest flying bat, which spends most of its days hanging upside down. They can weigh up to 4 kilograms and have a wingspan of just over 1 metre. This is what makes them so special and interesting for people. They are endangered, so hunting them isn't the answer. So more ways are being worked on to make the bats decide to move somewhere else. But for now, the bats are happy to hang out, flap those wings in one of the greatest gardens in the world.
Sydney isn't just well known for its gardens. It has some amazing beaches as well. Surfers come from around the world to surf at great locations like Manly. However, today board shorts have been replaced with suits and ties. This is all in aid of the annual Symphony on the Sand concert. The day began with some simple opera. The locals enjoyed lapping up the sunshine and chilling to the tunes in the dunes in the Natural Beach Amphitheatre. Longboard riders dressed up for the occasion. Even surfers know you can't go to the opera topless or in wetsuits. They took to the waves in a full range of suits and dresses for what is officially known as the Formal Attire Surfing Contest. It's just surfing to music and a bit of fun, dressed in dinner suits and tiaras. It's just a good time, said local resident and surfer Roger Jury. Other categories included the golden bow tie and the golden tiara, with even a board-riding leprechaun joining the throng in homage to St. Patrick's Day. The crowd loved watching a very different style of surfing. A local surfer called Duke first surfed here in a suit in 1906, so it's a tradition that's carried on over that time, says James Wilson, the man in the pink dress. Everybody is having a ball. Over 50 surfers took to the waves in all sorts of evening wear. Men, women, children and even dogs were out showing off their skills and looking their best at the same time. The waves weren't big, but that didn't stop this young stylist from hitting the surf and taking a bow. Is that a mermaid? No, just someone dressed up to surf. Many people came to watch this unusual event, and it made for some fantastic photos for tourists. There was one small problem with all this formal surfing. All the handsome suits and elegant dresses were hired. Imagine what the dry cleaning bill will be like. I don't think the suit hire shops will be too pleased with the surfers.
Sydney is a city on the harbour. However, a few unwelcome guests have dropped in to make life a little uneasy for some. And no, it's not flying foxes. Sharks. For many years, the harbour was too polluted for sharks, but in recent years, environmentalists have cleaned the water. This has invited some of the adventurous predators as far into the harbour as Circular Quay. This is the main hub of Sydney's bus ferry service. So people need to be careful and stay on board those ferries, and maybe Sydney's new visitors will get bored and head back to their own territory.
Welcome to the Ivor Spencer International School for Butlers. When you think of the butler, you think of England. This was the birthplace of the traditional, proper and well-mannered butler. However, students come from all over the world to the Ivor Spencer School. At this particular course in London, there are students from Korea, Australia, Belgium, Sweden, Holland, Germany, the United States and the Arab states. All these students say the great thing about this job is that you get to travel the whole world. If you can keep a glass on your head in England, you can keep it there in any country. Senior instructor Ashley Powell has been a butler for many years. He takes the international students through the ins and outs of being a good butler. The course is 6 weeks long. They are taught all the important things. Vital skills like keeping a glass on your head may come in handy if your hands are already full. Also, you may have to do some ironing. Jeans, shirts, socks, undies, papers. Papers? In order to become a great butler, it's important to know how to iron all the creases out of a newspaper. The trick is not to keep the iron on the paper for too long. Nobody likes to read his or her sports section with a big burnt hole in the back page. Lovely job by this future butler. No burn holes and no smudged ink. Full marks to you, sir.
Everyone happy with that?
They also get a hard lesson on how to serve at a dinner party. Not just any old birthday party, but a party that could have up to 100 guests all wanting their meals delivered at the same time. Not easy, and that's why carrying an extra glass on your head comes in handy. They're taught the correct etiquette and protocol. This means they learn how to speak to the guests and how to place their glasses, knives, spoons, forks, napkins and plates correctly. An important note made to them all by Ashley is that when you bow to a guest, make sure you've taken the glass off your head.
Good morning, Your Grace.
The school is called Ivor Spencer after the late Mr. Spencer, who was a butler for the Royal British family for most of his life. A person needs certain qualities to be a good butler, said Ashley, who has also served royalty in his day. You need to be a very nice person and patient. Some people you wait on can be nasty, but you can never yell back. This is the lesson he's giving here. He's acting like a nasty guest being rude to the butler. At the same time, he can't help but correct them on their style of dish handling. This is the best school on this big planet to attend if you wish to become a butler. A top-range butler earns over £100,000 a year. And of course, with all that glass balancing, you could always leave the butlerhood and join the circus as a juggler.
This is one Easter egg the Easter Bunny will not be delivering to anybody this year. If you do have $6 million, you need to look no further than Christie's auction house in New York. There you will find the egg that the Easter Bunny is calling the most expensive Easter egg in the world. The Winter Egg by Fabergé is made of finely carved, transparent rock crystal, hinged to encase a small Easter bouquet. The egg features diamond borders with platinum, crystal-shaped inlays and simulated ice crystals. Now, if you don't understand what some of these words mean, just ask Mum and Dad. That's if you can pull their jaw off the floor. But wait, there's still more. In total, the egg is encrusted with over 3,000 diamonds and rose-cut diamonds. A cabochon moonstone rests on top of the egg, marking the date it was created, 1913. The egg sits on a crystal base, also covered with platinum decorations, and fitting inside the egg is the platinum Easter basket with gold flowers, garnets and crystals. The basket symbolises the change in seasons from winter to spring. In total, with the egg, the base and the basket, there are over 4,300 diamonds. The last time it was sold, it went for a whopping $5,587,308 in 1994. I wonder what sort of chick would hatch from this expensive egg.
Anton is a Rothschild giraffe who is only 1 week old. His 4-year-old mother, Anne, is also the daughter of his father, Alexander, making Anton's grandfather his father as well. How confusing is that? Anton is as healthy as a young giraffe can get. He surprised everyone when he was born in the Berlin Zoo. No zoo staff knew that Anne was pregnant. So imagine their surprise one morning when they went to feed the giraffes only to find a new member of the family. Everyone was excited, and after only an hour the baby stood up, a little wobbly at first, but since then young Anton has gone from strength to strength. Rothschild giraffes have the basic appearance of any giraffe subspecies: long legs, a long neck with 7 vertebrae, and a leopard-like coat. The main trait that distinguishes the Rothschild giraffe from others is the colour of its coat. The coat is pale and thicker when compared to the Maasai giraffe. It has larger patches and softer markings. Rothschild giraffes reach heights of 5.5 metres and can weigh around 1,200 kilograms. They live in Kenya, Sudan and Uganda and are the largest giraffe species on Earth. Male giraffes, like Anton's dad, can grow over 6 metres tall. They have a long tongue used to clean their ears and eyes, and that can reach the tops of trees to pluck the tastiest leaves. Giraffes are herbivores. That means they only eat grass, leaves, fruit, and things like that. They never eat meat. The giraffes often live to be 25 years old. In the wild, their predators include lions, hyenas, and leopards, as well as those humans who would hunt them for their handsome coats. However, here in the zoo, these giraffes have nothing to worry about.
Do you have any money just lying around not being spent? If you do, you should give Erklin Owen and Sabine Hitcher a visit. They will turn the simple notes and coins into wearable pieces of art. This is common in Europe because a lot of old money, like the German currency, has changed to the new euro dollar. This has made the Deutschmark, the German name for money, worthless, but not anymore. Ortwin and Hector have the idea of turning the old coins and notes into jewellery in the days before the new common European currency, the euro, was introduced at the start of 2002. The idea came as the euro came closer and closer, and we thought it would be a homage to the mark. We always wanted to work together, so when we both agreed on this crazy idea, it's now or never, we said, let's do it, Hetcher told us. This is a very fine business. It takes delicate handwork to mould the rings from money. These two ladies are extremely skilled and have been in the jewellery business for many years. They come up with thousands of ideas. They look at a note or a coin and think about how they can shape it into a new masterpiece. Then they are all put on display for visiting people to look at and hopefully buy. The designs are unique and playful. One silver ring shows the eyes of Annette von Dosten-Holzhoff, the face that appeared on the German 5-mark note through tiny windows. Other models are simple pieces of notes folded to make a ring. Every piece of jewellery is one of a kind, the artists say. The most popular model is the penny coin, bent upward and attached to a simple silver ring. People couldn't imagine what they'd look like. They thought about the jewellery made out of coins, the old Deutschmarks coins that already existed. And that's what they thought of, said Ortwin. She is referring to the whole coins which are worn as pendants or earrings. I think it was a surprise for people to see what we were able to produce folding the notes together. And the little windows with the eyes looking out, the playful aspect of the jewellery, she added. This coin used to be 1 mark. Now it can be worn on your finger as a beautiful ring and would be worth much more than the coin's old value. At the moment they're just working on making rings, but the pair of creative jewellers are hoping to extend their money transforming business into necklaces, bracelets and other forms of jewellery. Here we can see the first pair of earrings ever made from old money. If we are using old money for jewellery, does that mean we'll use diamonds for money? It's a strange world.
So many people rushing about. I wonder where they're all going. The CeBIT Trade Fair is a showcase for all sorts of futuristic technologies. All those people are coming here to see what the latest gadgets are to make our lives easier and more fun. Things ranging from Sony's new Aibo electric dog all the way to fingerprint and facial recognition devices may be a part of our future. These sorts of things will be used for security. Technology buffs are having the time of their lives in Hanover, Germany, from the newest wearable computer to the latest personal digital assistants with portable keyboards. The CeBIT is a showcase of gadgets which the manufacturers hope will change our lives in the future. CeBIT is the world's largest computer technology trade fair and is held every year in Germany. The latest in mobile phones are showed off to the public. They may just look like normal mobiles, but these little numbers have the ability to send faxes, access the internet, and fly to the moon. Oh, okay, I made that last one up. This is the latest in communication devices. It's a phone, computer, camera, fax, email, diary, television, and calculator. Plus, it makes popcorn. Okay, you got me again. It doesn't make popcorn. The latest in TVs were also on display. Imagine watching The Big Planet on this television. It has new digital sound and sharper colour. Sony's Aibo dog, an electronic version of man's best friend, seemed to attract many visitors who were interested to see that the plastic dog reacts just like Fido at home. Tell him to sit, he will sit. Tell him to beg, he will beg. Tell him to bite the postman, well, he won't do that. Another amazing thing about this computer pup is he costs nothing in food. So don't feed him milk, he'll short circuit. We all know that terrorism is a bad word. In recent times, airports, train stations and big public events have increased their security measures to make our world a safer place. Here are some new programs that companies are working on to increase surveillance for air travellers. One way is through fingerprints. You give your prints away when you buy your ticket. Then, when you go to get on the plane, you press your thumb up against a computer screen. This makes sure you are the right owner of the ticket and not a naughty lawbreaker. Frances Zalazy of Visionix Corporation explained a facial recognition system developed by her company would offer better security checks from check-in through to immigration. You can buy a plane ticket using a mobile device such as a camera, and when you check in, they can tell that you are the one who ordered a particular ticket, she said. Then, when you walk through the gate to get on the aeroplane, the security at the checkpoints will do a surveillance to check your face against a watch list of criminals. Some of these gadgets might be in our lives very soon.
What do you get if you cross a camel with a llama? Well, a karma. A specialised veterinarian centre in the United Arab Emirates has played around with the symbol of the desert, the camel. They've crossed it with a more exotic llama to produce karmas, a unique hybrid that combines the best of both animals. British vet Lulu Skidmore, Chief Science Officer of the Camel Research Centre, has been breeding karmas for the past 5 years. The karma is a new animal with the sought-after coat of the llama and the endurance of the larger camel. Camels and llamas don't breed in the wild, so no male camel and a female llama goes out on dates before getting married and having children. Instead, the camels, because they're larger, are artificially inseminated with llama DNA. The two species can breed because they have the same genetic makeup and chromosomes. This female camel has some lunch while vets make sure the new karma baby inside her is healthy. Rama, a male, was born in 1998. Now he was joined by Camilla, a brown and white cuddly female who looks like both her parents. Camilla is the first karma to be born from two parent karmas. This may seem a strange cross. Camels come from the east and llamas come from the west. However, Lulu explained about the history of these two animals and tells us that they come from the same historic family, the camelid. The camelid inhabited the Rocky Mountain area in North America some 30 million years ago. Back then, some of these primitive creatures moved to Mongolia via Alaska and Siberia, evolving into the Bactrian two-humped camel. Others headed south to populate the Saudi Arabian area, Iran and Pakistan, where they became smaller and one-humped. More camelids went to South America's Andes Mountains, where they were tamed by the ancient Incas into llamas. So the llama and the camel have very close links and come from the same species millions of years ago. This is how cute little Camilla came to be born. Another animal like the karma is the mule. Mule comes from donkeys or horses, but unlike mules, karmas have a very small chance of breeding together. This is what makes Camilla so special. She isn't just a member of the newest species of animals on the planet, but she's also a 1 in a million baby. We'll see you next time on The Big Planet.